Hi everyone. So this week I thought I'd put a quick video out and talk about how we can access our highest self and reach our true potential through becoming more self-aware. So, we've all got goals in life, we've all got ambition, we've all got things we want to achieve. I know I, for one, I'm massively ambitious. And we've all got things we want to achieve. But understandably, throw into the equation a massive amount of stress, fear of what may be around the corner, and negative people, negativity, or toxic people, or whatever. Throw any of that into the equation, and it just begins to start becoming a lot more difficult to reach those goals and get to those places where you want to be. But ultimately, what it boils down to is about self-awareness, taking the time for that self-care and becoming self-aware of knowing what's yours, what's that other person's, and taking the time to access what's going on for you so you can look at it, you can journal it, you can analyse it, you can understand it, and you can move forward from it so that these negative routines and these toxic cycles will stop happening and you will reach your highest self. So that true happiness, that highest potential that you're capable of. Okay, so I've been reading a guy called Jay Shetty at the minute, and I don't know how many people have heard of him on my Facebook, but he's unbelievable. I absolutely love him. He's great. And I've been reading his book, Think Like a Monk. And in there's a section where he's talking about fear. And he says about the days when he was living as a monk. And he did a guided meditation and to access, his core fear. And obviously done a lot of work on this. To access that core fear, to understand what follows on from that. So that core fear and what behaviours and what routines and what kind of things get put in the way because of this underlying core fear that it's a lot of the time is too raw and too vulnerable and too painful for us to access and look at. So, but this can be done in various different ways of kind of looking at what we hold within us, what are our underlying fears, what is our vulnerability. We need to sometimes we need to look at this to be able to move forward in life and live a more fulfilling life and a happier and content life. So, and one thing I will say is never ever attempt to kind of pull from your unconscious mind or dig up painful, raw, difficult aspects of yourself if you feel like it's going to be detrimental to your mental health. Always do that in a supported environment with a qualified therapist, because when you've got to be very careful of this stuff, really. So never ever kind of go delving into your unconscious and digging stuff up. It needs to be done in the right way, and it needs to be done with the right support. Well, basically the message that I'm trying to get across today is the importance of, by becoming more self-aware and by looking at this kind of the more difficult aspects of ourselves that we may not want to look at, we can become better, happier, have better, happier lives. We can reach our full potential. So this can be done by various different ways, really, like journaling and guided meditations and things like that. Like, obviously come and see me for your guided meditations, your journaling prompts, wellbeing support sessions, things like that. I can help you with all that. And But it's truly amazing what can happen when we start to understand our deepest kind of aspects of self and how this impacts on relationships around us. And we can start to identify what's ours and what's that other person's. So we can start to protect ourselves and remove toxic relationships and negative people out of our life that bring us, you know, that just don't kind of serve us and bring us down. It's not good. I'm not saying remove all negative people out of your life. Of course I'm not. That's absolutely not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it's about becoming aware, so you know what's theirs and what's yours, and protecting yourself in the process. Okay? So, the vulnerability aspect, if you look at it this way, I've just been talking to someone about this morning actually. But so for vulnerability, nobody likes to feel vulnerable. Nobody likes to accept the fact that they have these vulnerable aspects of themselves. But you know, by looking at it, by analysing it, by kind of accepting those aspects of ourselves, those more vulnerable aspects of ourselves, we can begin to move on from that then. And for instance, I'll give an example here. For instance, say if I was to make one of these videos and I did so with no makeup on my face, then I would put the video out and I would feel raw terror at the thought of my face going out there to the world with no makeup on, because I'm self-conscious of the way I look. So if I was to do that, however, and I was to put a video out there, I'm not saying I'm going to put one out there with no makeup on, by the way, before people start to think, but say if I was to put a video out there of me with completely bare face, no eyebrows, no foundation, no nothing, no concealer, and I was to put that out there, then that would terrify me. That would be a really, really difficult thing for me to sit through, because of my own thoughts around, like, I'm self-conscious of the way I look. Right, so, but say if I did that, then I would have sat in that discomfort. Sorry, my phone's going off in the middle of that there. I would have sat in that discomfort, I would have sat in that pain. But then I would have dealt with it, and I would have moved forward from it after. Obviously, that, you know, that's still going to be there, that's still going to be an aspect. But say, for instance, after putting that video out, the next time I got caught without foundation on, or then my foundation ran out or whatever, or I couldn't find my daughter pinned my eyebrow makeup, Olivia. But next time, say if I needed to go to the shop, because I'd already put the video out, and because I'd sat with the vulnerability, and because I've processed that pain of I'm vulnerable in this aspect because I feel self-conscious of the way I look, when I got caught short without my makeup and I had to run to the shops, it wouldn't be as fearful as the first time round. I hope that makes sense to the point I'm trying to make. So basically, the more we look at ourselves, the more we kind of accept those vulnerable parts of ourselves, and we journal it. You journal it, you analyse it, you tear it to bits until it makes perfect sense, and you can sit with it and you can move on from it. And once you move on from it, you will become so much happier and so much more content in your own skin and in your own self. So another aspect of this is by learning about our fears, our limiting beliefs, and the kind of our self-concept, and by looking at all aspects of ourself, warts and all, we can start to then, like I say, identify what's ours, what are other people's, We can start to look at relationships in our life. We can start to look at negative kind of toxic routines we may fall in, and we can start to change it, okay? Because ultimately you are capable of like endless amounts. And by putting limitations in place of one thing or another, by putting limitations in place, you're limiting yourself with what you can achieve. So it's about just kind of digging deep, looking at yourself. Obviously, I'd always recommend doing it in a supported environment with a professional. But then it's about reaching that true happy side of yourself. Find your soul crew. I heard someone post, I can't think who it was who posted that this week. I seen it posted somewhere though, and it just resonated like so well. You know, surround yourself with those people who share your visions and your goals and your light, and that amazing, gorgeous light that beams from you. Surround yourself with positive. I'm not saying cut negative people out of your life. Of course I'm not. We'll always come across negative people. You need to be able to know how to deal with them. It's about owning your own shit. Sorry, man, for swearing again in one of my videos. It's about owning it. And it's about looking at what's yours, what's theirs, keeping yourself safe. Look at what do you want out of life? What are you capable of? And I can guarantee you're capable of so much more than what you think as soon as you answer that question. So look at what you want out of life and don't stop until you reach it. Life is for living. Life is for all the amazing, beautiful things. It's too short to be sucked in by negative drama and toxicity. Okay, life's too short for it. Do what makes you happy. Okay? Journal it, look at it, analyse it, book in for guided meditations, journal prompts, all the rest of it. Have an amazing week and keep that beautiful smile on your face.